Thanks a lot. Just off Gone to the Gods right now at a fire staging area. With us right now is fire medic here. This is Richie Rasach. And tell us what exactly happens at this staging area. It's very chaotic right now.
Well, quite frankly, it's just like being on deck, getting ready to bat, if you want to use a sports analogy. This is where we get all our equipment, where we get our supplies, where we get our fueled up with food and water, whatever we need to get our briefings, get information, get medical care if we need it, rehab, and then we prepare ourselves to go to the next shift, to go up there and do what we need to do.
Okay, so the group that's here right now is getting set to go out.
Correct. They're either getting set to go out or they're just come in and they're rehabbing, they're getting medical treatment, they're getting whatever they need to, fuel, rest if they need to, and they're getting ready to go to the next shift.
How long are we talking? What's your shift time like when you're out there on the front line?
It actually depends, but they're trying to keep it less than 12 hours if possible so that people don't get worn out. Once they come back down from the mountain, they actually get to relax a little bit, get some food and some fluids back in them, get any medical that they need, and then they get an assignment to go back to one of the fire stations and kind of rest if they can. Some of us actually ended up being back on an engine as a paramedic. They needed paramedics back on the engines to run medical calls because this isn't the only thing that's going on. We've had almost 7,000 calls of service since this fire, so we're still running on all the medical calls in the city, and some of us have to go back and do that.
Okay, so you're talking 12-hour shifts out there fighting this fire. That's a long time. How do the firefighters, how do you maintain a sense of just a level mind?
I think it's just we know the job, a task. The training takes over. We don't think about it. This is what we do. This is what we're sworn to do. It's heartbreaking when we see some of it. It affects us just like everybody else, but it has to be done. And it's one of those things that you just put in the back of your mind, do the work that need to do, and then we come back down here, and some of us just talk about it and reflect on it, and that motivates us even more to get the job done.
Do you guys, do you guys share a lot and talk, like you said? Does it get emotional out there?
It really does. I can guarantee it. We're very somber when we come back. There's no laughter as far as the typical things that we'd be laughing about. We're talking about the losses. We're talking about how sorry we feel for the people and how appreciative we are that they know that we did our best. Despite of what Mother Nature did to us, it gave us a left hook, and we fought it as best as we could.
But you recharge, you go back out there, you do it all over again, right, until the job's done?
That's correct. We're not going to give up.
Describe the scene out there for us, because we can't see it right now. What's it like, the landscape, the housing, the structures?
It looks like a nuclear bomb went off. I was on one of the crews that went in Tuesday night when it flared up. And if you want to really picture what it looked like, look up some file footage of Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the firebombing in Japan, glowing everywhere, winds, ash everywhere, destruction, basically square fire pits. They used to be million-dollar homes destroyed. And so it's very sombering, heartbreaking. We just got to the task and awe. It was a shock and awe kind of a thing, if you will. It looked like a bomb went off. And we just did the training that we know and we did what we could.
Does this get personal for you?
It does. We're sworn to protect life and to protect property, and there was only so much that we could do. We tried to draw a line, and we got sucker punched by Mother Nature, if you will. The winds kicked up, perfect firestorm. There's only so much we could do, but we held our ground eventually, and that's what we're seeing the successes that we're had now.
I want to ask you, we've heard about how things happen out there. Of course, we're not trained, we're not sure exactly, but we hear when there's structures burning out there, if one's too far gone, you work to protect the other structures around it. How hard is it to just watch a house just go right up in front of you and there's nothing you can do?
It's funny you should ask that. That was one of our assignments in the crew I was with. It was heartbreaking. We have to draw a line, and it's a triage. It's a sorting kind of a thing. Some you can save, some you can't. It's the same thing if you want to borrow from medical. Some people are too far gone, and you have to take your efforts to concentrate on the ones that have a chance to survive. The ones that are dying or already dead, you can't help. So you take what you do have, the energies and the efforts and the equipment that you have, and the water, sometimes it was limited, and you save the ones that you can save. The ones that are already involved, you can't stop it. You don't have an effective force, and not only is it dangerous, but it is just futile. You just can't do anything about it.
Can you imagine what it's like doing what you do and being out there and seeing this for years, I'm sure. People, they're losing their homes, their memories. Some, their neighborhoods are gone. Can you relate to this at all?
It's heartbreaking. The destruction, the devastation. We weren't looking at this as property. We were looking at this as homes, not houses. We're looking at this as memories from people, toys that you could see through the fire, bicycles, sporting equipment, things that people did and do. It was lives. It was years of memories and they were gone. And to us, it was very heartbreaking. And I can guarantee you, it was very somber. We were doing our job, but we all were feeling the same thing, even though it wasn't said. After a while, you work with the same crews, you know, we all were very quiet, but we got the job done as best as we could.
Okay, are you coming in now or are you getting set to go out?
I'm actually coming in. I've been on since Tuesday, and I was at a fire station being a paramedic and running all the calls in 3 districts. So I probably haven't slept very much, maybe an hour.
Well, we'll let you go. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate what you're doing. Stay safe out there.
Thank you very much.
We're going to go ahead right now from the staging area and toss it back to you guys in the studio.